Hi everyone, I am at Valencia Negros Oriental and Mr. Felix Cataal volunteered to be interviewed in my channel. I already made a poem about my pile, and this is the poem. Everything you see here has a story. It was my experience and my memory of how time flies. And quickly, without intention, you will all become sentimental and attached. With care, my heritage and legacy will remain for 1,000 years or maybe more for generations to behold. The joy of these treasures lie in the promise of a bright and long future, of giving the present an inkling of yesterday, of being mesmerized by the beauty, elegance, and grace of a once opulent era. First World War entrenching unit, Second World War, and the 1984, the same company that made it. This is the Gerber, and this is made in China. The jungle bolo, because
Who use those bolos are Americans or Japanese?
the Americans,
Okay.
to clear the field when they put their artillery pieces there, to clear a pathway, and maybe these are battery holders.
Okay.
These are to screw the bombs,
Okay.
and this is a shoe repair
Okay.
and hammers.
Okay.
These were once wire cutters in the Second World War.
Mm.
The can opener. This is the Japanese handsaw
Okay.
and the American handsaw.
Okay.
The tools of the Japanese.
Okay, sir.
And this newspaper was issued on Tuesday, December 9, 1941. By December 9, 2022, it will be 81 years old. Pearl Harbor was Sunday, December 7, 1941. This was 2 days after Tuesday, December 9, 1941.
Okay, sir. How about this paraphernalia here, sir? This one.
This is a military merit medal for the Armed Forces of the Philippines, station badge, Armed Forces of the Philippines. This is Office of the President of the Philippines, Malacanang. And this is Amaterasu, the sun god himself. That the first emperor in Japan was Emperor Jimo Tino.
Okay.
The statue of Emperor Jimo Tino is now standing in Awajishima Island near Kubi,
Okay.
100 meters tall. And Jimo Tino was the Amaterasu was the sun god himself. And Hirohito, the Japanese emperor, was the 25th descendant of Amaterasu. That is Amaterasu. This is Sea Service. This is Philippine Independence Ribbon, the Philippine Liberation Ribbon, the Philippine Defense Ribbon, and the Merit Ribbon.
Okay. For those people, sir, how about those pictures on top?
This is my uncle who died in Campo Donel in Capas Tarlac.
Yeah, that was the one you mentioned.
That was his original uniform,
Okay. So the other side.
Philippine Scout Artillery Battalion. When MacArthur landed in Leyte, Friday, October 20, 1944. Yesterday was the 78th anniversary of this. It celebrated its 78th birthday yesterday,
Okay.
October 20. And the Leyte Gulf landing, 70th anniversary, they got these words printed into the coin. I have returned by the grace of Almighty God. Our forces stand again on Philippine soil, soil consecrated in the blood of our two peoples. We have come dedicated and committed to the task of destroying every vestige of enemy control over your daily lives and of restoring upon a foundation of indestructible strength the liberties of your people. Rise and strike, let no heart be faint. Let every arm be steeled. The guidance of divine God points its way to the holy grail of righteous victory.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's only a portion, sir.
It was
MacArthur's statement.
MacArthur's landing in Leyte, and the landing estimate was 250,000 men in landing.
Okay. These are this item.
One goes to the water source, one goes to the canteen. This is the instruction. This is a water purification unit. When you pump it for 1 minute,
Mm.
it fills that up with water.
Okay. Used by Americans or
This
Japanese?
is American, and it is very rare because for every platoon, only one carries this.
Okay, sir.
If they issue it and to all the soldiers, they'll be bringing lesser grenades and lesser bullets.
Yes.
You cannot fight
Mm.
with this alone.
Yes.
You have to smash this into the head of the enemy before you can kill him.
Okay. Other portion, sir, please.
This is Ninoy Aquino when he was war correspondent in the Korean War. That was his camera. And this camera, right here. This is from Germany.
Okay.
This is from the Filipino-American War, American Civil War. And this came from the First World War, the rifles in the First World War.
Okay.
And the Japanese does not have the factory for the ammunition for these rifles, so they pick up the shells and refill it with lead.
Okay.
The American soldier was already drinking Nescafe, Barrington Hall, lemon juice, orange juice, grapes, and the bouillon powder. They were also eating Horlicks, malted milk lunch tablet, their toothbrushes, and their toothpaste. There was still no toothpaste in the Second World War. You can still read it.
Okay.
It reads the dental cream.
Okay.
The American grenades, and those are the shrapnel of the exploded grenade.
This one, sir.
Yes.
All this one are already
I
empty.
already received a certification coming from the Provincial Explosives Ordnance Disposal that all the bombs has no explosive content and the firearms on display are decommissioned.
Okay, so it's safe for public
Yeah.
viewing. Okay, sir.
This is the Second World War gas mask, the Vietnam War gas mask, and the Gulf War gas mask. The old Coca-Cola bottles for the United States.
Okay.
They are all embossed. Their bottles is green color
Okay.
because of the Coke.
Okay.
The Americans put cocaine onto their Coca-Cola, and for the whole world, they were using the clear bottles.
Okay.
And this here are the field manuals. FM does not stand for Ferdinand Marcos; it stands for Field Manual. This is for the M1 Garand Field Manual. The dates when it was made. That was 30 July 1942. This is 23 April 1944, the carbine, the grease gun, the Browning 50 caliber machine gun. September 1944, the Browning 30 caliber machine gun. April 1943, the hand grenades and the rifle grenades, the 81 millimeter mortars. I even have the driver's handbook for the battle tank. The driver's handbook for the battle tank.
Okay.
Look at this. This is attack on a fortified position and combat in towns.
Okay.
There are all the instructions on how to attack the enemy. Another uncle of mine, a cousin of my mother, was a member of the American Legion, and he was assigned to distribute all the medals to all the veterans. After distributing the medals to all of the veterans, he still had a lot left behind. So he gave it all to me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, a lot of them. Is the present American uniform,
Okay.
and I am just using them to be guards of the museum.
Okay.
Original American uniform, and that is the Philippine Army uniform. I do not. I just assign them as guard. They do not leave their post, and they do not get paid.
Okay, sir.
That is a big savings to my museum.
Let's go over there.
This is the apple grenade, Second World War. Vietnam War. The pineapple grenade, Second World War. The smoke grenade, Second World War, and the rifle grenade, Second World War. Do you know how to sing
No, sir.
the Philippine national anthem
Yes, sir. Of course,
in
sir.
English?
Yeah, land of the morning. Shadow the sun reporting.
sun returning with
Purple morning. Lead our souls adore.
Land dear and holy, pride of noble heroes, near
Shall
shall invade
invaders.
crumple the
The
sacred
sacred
shores,
shores.
ever within thy skies, and through thy clouds, and o'er the hills and seas. Do we behold their
Agents feel that trouble.
glorious
Liberty.
The Japanese saber, the handle looks European, the scabbard looks European, but the blade looks like Japanese. These were issued to Japanese imperial forces against Russia when Japan conquered Russia in 1905.
Let me take a video, sir.
And this is the Imperial Japanese Army katana. This is for the Imperial Japanese Navy. They were using stainless steel blades because the traditionally made blade, the Tamihagani steel, corrodes immediately in sea atmosphere. There was salt present in the air, so they were using stainless steel blades for the Imperial Japanese Navy. This is from the 16th century, and the small blades is the wakizashi for ritual suicide when they commit suicide.
Is it the same as
They
harakiri?
cannot use the long blades because it is very far away to stab themselves. They needed the short ones to disembowel themselves. Harakiri is a very slow and painful death. There is no major organ on your stomach to kill yourself immediately. You only die when you lose all your blood. So another type of harakiri is called seppuku. Seppuku is you have an assistant. You kneel down, you open your shirt to expose the stomach, you disembowel yourself, and when the pain is already unbearable, you gave the signal to the assistant to cut off the neck to make it less painful.
About this, sir.
The 81 millimeter mortars, and those are the rounds behind you. 30 rounds, another 30 rounds at the bottom. Those are the samurai armor. There are no body in it because it represents one dead Japanese soldier. I already have repatriated to Japan 32 Japanese soldiers' remains.
I'm sorry.
Yes, without the body.
Without the
That
body.
is the Japanese armor. I received them as gifts from Japanese families.
Okay, sir.
Their emperor did not die, so merong katawan.
Okay.
3 emperors. The samurai armor, and that is a fuel tank of the Nakajima airplane.
Okay, that one on top with black
The
color.
Nakajima airplane is still the Nakajima company is still making cars until today, and we call the cars as the Subaru.
Okay.
Mitsubishi Zero Fighter, fuel tank,
Okay.
and they're still making cars until today. The cars they're making is the Pajero.
Okay.
Those are airplane bombs. I have 9 of it.
This one, sir.
This is the. I have an extra stand for this machine gun. This
Mm.
came from a Mitsubishi Zero Fighter, and this is the modified Hotchkiss, modified by the Japanese, coming from the French Hotchkiss machine gun. And this is the main armament for the Nakajima airplane. The main armament for the Nakajima airplane, the 50 caliber clone of the American M2 machine gun, Browning.
This one, sir. Sir. Sir.
These are the Nambu 14th year pistol for the pilots. You can still see here, it has a very big trigger guard. For the army, very small trigger guard. Very big trigger guard for the pilot because the pilot is wearing the leather gloves and their fingers won't fit. Look alike the German Luger, but the German Luger is very different. That's the German Luger.
Okay.
And this is the Japanese Nambu. This is blowback. 8 shots, 8 mm. Used only by the pilots. Because the Mageti was the training ground for kamikaze boy pilots, age 14 and 15. But most of them died in the mountain because their aircraft did not arrive. Because Japan's secret super ship was sunk by Captain Joseph Enright, United States Navy. That is Japan's secret super ship, the Shinano. Because the thinking of the Japanese High Command was for every aircraft they have one Allied shipping sunk, there will be no Allied shipping that can reach Japan, and Japan cannot be conquered. But the boy pilots just died in the mountain without their airplanes because the Shinano was sunk on its maiden voyage.
Okay.
Japan's secret super ship. These are the prayers of Japanese soldiers. This is the art of paper folding in Japan called origami. And they fold 10,000 paper birds, 10,000 paper cranes, because 10,000 is basically bansai.
Okay.
When a Japanese soldier shouts, Tino Kutai Bansai, they want their emperor to live for 10,000 years. I donated these things already to Tokyo and the Yakusuni Shrine in Tokyo, Japan. And there are still 7 Japanese soldiers' remains inside these boxes because by the year 2000, the Japanese knew that they were being fooled by some Filipinos, that other Filipinos excavate from cemeteries, getting the remains and selling it to the Japanese as Japanese soldiers. They just put a Japanese item on them. These are the detonators of the mortars. This is the safety cap. And the detonators came once from their temple bells. Monk is handling a temple bell on a collection area to be melted into weapons of war. That the Japanese held all of this as very sacred. that Japan was bare of lampposts, bridge railings, park benches, statues, heaters from their buildings, and their temple bells to be melted because America already had an embargo. America was the one supplying Japan with gasoline and raw materials, brass, steel, copper, silver, anything. Japan has no raw materials to be made into weapons of war. The airplane bombs, I have nine of this. Those is it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. The one standing is the holder under that the wings. And this is the Japanese grenade with the propellant. The Japanese grenade without the propellant. I have four boxes of them, and it reads Shiryodan, bomb thrown by hand. Kaya it looks like a hand. And this is the 1939 Japanese grenade, the smallest grenade. And this is a leaflet dropped by the American airplanes on areas where the Japanese were hiding. This is in English, this is in Chinese, the rest is in Japanese. That when a Japanese soldier picks them up, he can understand what is written here to fold it along the line. When it is already folded, they get out of their hiding place, and when he sees an American soldier put this on his head and wave, that he's already surrendering. Because he brings the white flag or just wear a white t-shirt, his comrades are shooting him down. They are not allowed to surrender. And that is much more practical. It can only be seen at the front. They bring a white flag, they are shot by their own comrades. They are not allowed to surrender. The Imperial Japanese Navy buttons, and this is the Yamato, the Japanese flagship of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. It was sunk off Okinawa. The Musashi, the flagship of Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita, was sunk in the Sibuyan Sea, just north of Cebu, near Romblon. And these are the Japanese dog tags. These are the first sets of Japanese soldiers' remains I gave to the Japanese on October 24, 1986. When I gave it to the Japanese, I started opening the museum to the general public. By October 24, 2022, it will be 36 years ago. I already repatriated to Japan 32 of them. And this is sons of Japanese soldiers. They were still babies when their fathers went to war. They have not seen their fathers. They were volunteering to dig into the hills to find their missing fathers. These are the boxes where the remains came from. The first 17 sets I gave to the Japanese 36 years ago. And this is the Japanese veterans in light blue before we cremated the remains. The dead Japanese soldiers on the beaches, on the hillside, a lot of them. And these are the Japanese radio. That when a Japanese soldier surrenders, he is held naked, so he cannot hide a pistol or a grenade. They are suicidal in nature, and the Americans are very careful. If they do not undress, they are shot. And The women did not pick up the discarded uniforms of the Japanese because if they pick them up and wears them, they look like Japanese and the Americans are killing them, shooting them. So better topless than dead. Yung four pictures doon, it came from Papua New Guinea. Kaya yung mga maiitim na tao. The M1 Garand, 1936, the gun that won the Second World War. The Japanese Arisaka rifle, mass produced in Japan in 1905 upon the defeat of the Russians in 1905. And the American Enfield, when America joined the First World War, 1917. The American bayonet can kill a German soldier with this. The Japanese cannot kill a German soldier. There is no blade at the top. The First World War cannot kill a German soldier. There is no blade at the top. Because the German soldier is wearing the woolen trench coat and the woolen uniform that it is very sturdy, that you cannot penetrate it. Just touch it. That's the woolen trench coat. Very hard to penetrate with the blades that is not double edged.
Yes, sir.